This week, I got Daily Trend. And so my trends were Zach Bryan, Nick Bosa, Madison Keys. I don't know who any of these people are. Diarrhea plane. That's interesting. And The Little Mermaid.
Nick Bosa's an NFL player, so you're picking an NFL movie?
No,
Zach Bryan is
naturally.
a country singer.
So those go together well, Tim. She's doing like a Sunday Night Football movie. Because they always play country music on Sunday Night Football.
You are both wrong. I am a sucker for the diarrhea plane headline, and I could not resist it. And
so it's Snakes on a Plane.
That would have been a good one.
Well,
let's see.
What
you got?
So, a woman faces hilarious and embarrassing challenges, including an unforgettable and messy moment on a plane as she tries to be the best bridesmaid ever for her best friend's wedding.
This is an episode of Always Sunny.
Right?
It sounds like it. No, but
I picked Wade Boggs' Girls Redo.
Exactly. I have a feeling Rose Bryn is in it.
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig's in it. Melissa McCarthy.
Yes. But this is Bridesmaids, if you haven't figured it out by now. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Flipper Flicks. I'm Sam.
I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
And this week, we watched Bridesmaids. So, let's see here. What was the category? Back at it again? Wordplay? What was it?
Daily Trend.
Oh, it was a Daily Trend.
Right.
Yes. Well, see, I knew I had to match diarrhea airplane, which for some reason I thought that was a wordplay. It seems like it would be.
Yeah, Tim and I did not.
Wordplay.
We did not, in fact, give you diarrhea and plane.
But you could have at some point.
Yes, I would have. Yeah, I could have seen that.
Right?
Yeah.
And I also thought it was back at it again because on my first watch of this film, I did not initially think it lived up to the hype. So it fit two categories in my brain.
And it was still wrong.
Yeah. So anyway, this movie is from what? A million years ago?
11?
Yeah. And the for real synopsis is competition between the maid of honor and a bridesmaid over who's the bride's best friend threatens to upend the life of an out-of-work pastry chef.
Are you sure that's not the made-up one?
Right?
Yeah, that sounds like
I'm with you, and then they refer to her as the out-of-work pastry chef, and I'm like, that
Right.
just
Which
seems
she
unnecessary.
yeah.
She is out of work and a pastry chef.
It's just an unnecessary detail.
I mean, she had a job though.
Yeah.
She did get her job hat on and got a job
At the jewelry store,
Yeah.
right?
for a minute.
Where she's so great at doing that. Dude,
She's
every
so
time
good.
they were arguing at the jewelry store, I was like, it goes on for just like a beat too long. I'm like, okay, now I'm
That's
uncomfortable. Like I
kind of
can't
the whole
handle
movie.
it.
A lot of their jokes go a beat longer than I expect.
Yeah. Which I think is part of it, right? When you've got like that awkward humor vibe, like they kind of just want
Right.
you to wait it out and be like, ugh.
I know, and I don't always do well with awkward humor. Like, Tim, you've watched The Office a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I have not. I've watched it through 2 or 3 times in my life,
Dun, dun, dun.
which is probably considered a lot.
Yeah, I've only seen it once.
No, it's not considered a lot.
I know. But like, I mean, the average
That's not
person.
considered a lot.
How many
Probably.
times have you watched it, Tim?
Oh, I'm.
You can't count.
I don't know, but I just rewatched it recently.
Nice.
As in, I finished it a couple days ago.
Nice.
And I just started up a new season of it that I didn't realize was a thing, but it's called the Super Fans.
Yeah, on
episodes
Cock TV.
on Peacock, yeah. And so I'm watching that currently, and that is definitely a lot different. There's a lot of good stuff. It's nice to see, like, because every episode's extended cut. There's only like 6 seasons, and
Yeah.
so they're like 40-minute episodes.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of extra stuff in it, but you can definitely see where they were smart about where they cut some of it.
Nice.
Because you're just like,
Yeah.
it goes from like that almost perfect, cringy, awkward, funny moment to like, okay, this has gone too far. Like,
Gotcha.
It's just too awkward. It just doesn't make sense. You start feeling bad for certain people that you would normally be like, haha, it's funny on their expense, but it's like
Meredith.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not really like if they had all this rest of this information, or if this was released as the full cut, it wouldn't be as popular,
Ah.
in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I still like it, but
Nice.
I know that Justin has watched it. Steven has watched it, but Justin's in the 30s and he quit. He's way over 30 in his viewings of it. He quit counting at 30, and that was
I don't count. Yeah, I just don't.
That
I've
was
probably
probably
seen it more than
smart.
30 times.
probably 2018.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
I mean, as a gamer, you just kind of have stuff on all the time. So,
See, I don't.
like,
I don't do
but,
that.
I mean, even now, like when I'm doing housework and stuff, I don't really play games too much. But like when I'm doing housework, I just throw like Sunny on or Office on.
Or Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. Yeah, we were talking about that. But yeah, just random stuff.
We're a
so,
music household.
Mm-hmm.
We normally just turn some tunes on.
we clash with that. She blasts music and I blast the TV.
Ah, there you go.
So one of us ends up putting headphones in.
You guys should just blast like something that has a really great soundtrack, like Interstellar.
Or
You
Lord
know
of
what
the
I mean? Because then
Rings.
it's like
Just
the
blast
best of
Lord of the
both
Rings.
worlds.
There you go. Yeah, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Harry Potter,
There you go.
Avengers.
Yeah.
We both like the Marvel stuff, so
There you go.
There you go. Now Melissa
Yeah.
McCarthy's in this film,
Yes.
and she
who is that?
She's the like the
I
funny
recognize
one.
everyone. I have no idea their names.
Megan.
Who's
She's gonna be like
The tomboy one.
the tomboy.
Where what does she say? She always has like a bowling shirt on.
Oh, that
And
chick.
yeah,
Yeah, she's
like
cool.
her.
I like
don't know.
her. a
Her
lot.
stuff's like always out of left field. I feel like.
Yeah, she gets with the Marshal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
her
yeah.
real life
Yeah,
husband.
she was my favorite character.
Yeah,
Her
she's
real
great.
life husband.
Okay, that's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love too that she's on the plane and she's like, she calls him out as a marshal. He's like, I'm not a marshal, and then of course he is.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
Where do you
fucking
hide the
great.
gun? Is it up your butt?
Well, that when she like puts her leg up on the
Yeah,
airplane
so it's just
bathroom.
I can go
Feel
higher.
that heat.
Yeah. Oh, she's
Oh my
amazing.
She's
God.
hilarious,
Yeah,
and like
she's hilarious.
I was first introduced to her from Sam on
Mhm.
Gilmore Girls,
Mhm.
where she
Mhm.
plays this character Suki. I almost said Sucky, and I was like, "That's not right, Adam."
She's like the straight woman in
She's
that.
the straight
like, She's
woman.
not funny.
Hmm.
Which like so that's why I was always surprised when she like jumped into comedy because I was like, oh, she can actually like drama act and
Oh, she
do
got
like normal
jokes.
characters.
Yeah.
But she's hilarious as
yeah, she's
comedy.
really
like
funny.
it's just so good.
I think she was involved in writing on the Groundlings,
Oh, nice.
which is
Huh.
a huge improv group in L.A.
That's cool.
The waiter from Sunny was in it. Michael Naughton. If
Yeah.
you really, if you're out there knowing Michael Naughton's name,
That's funny because in The Office, he's in that as a teacher or instructor or whatever for Michael's improv class.
That's amazing.
he is.
He's the instructor. Like,
I love that.
okay, that's weird.
I know.
Well, we've had Kristen Wiig in other movies. She was in Wonder Woman 2.0.
1984.
Yes, that one. And I go back and forth with her. Like usually I'm like, all right, I dig her, but it's this movie in particular that I'm like, I can't handle her. And I think it's literally that her character is just so cringy in everything.
Yeah.
Like she's
That is
so
my issue.
narcissistic and she takes it too far and I'm always like, oh my God, like I can't handle it. And so I can't like separate her from this role.
It's so she's not funny in it. What happens to her in certain situations is funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like she's not the funny part of it. It's like she's laying in bed and he's like, "Can George or whatever the fuck his name is do this?" And he's like caressing her
Yeah.
boob, and she's just sitting there like,
Yes.
I guess. It's like that's funny because he's doing it. We're all laughing. We're like, this is not like
Yeah.
sure, yeah, that's the way to turn somebody on. But
Speaking of him, are you ready for the weirdest connection in this film?
Sure.
oh gosh,
John Hamm, who is the guy who was caressing Kristen Wiig's boob, was a drama teacher back in Missouri, and he taught the girl who plays Becca, who is Kimmy Schmidt or Erin from The Office. He taught her in Missouri.
What?
She was one of his students.
That's crazy.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Small world.
I know. Unless it's like a really nice school, then it's less small.
Yeah.
But the best
awesome.
character in this film was Bonnie Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Did you catch her?
no, I'm not
She-
You
remembering.
missed her?
She's Lillian's mom.
Yeah.
I think I think at some point I recognized somebody and I was like, who was that? But I didn't go back, so that must have been her.
Yeah.
She's in some like
Damn.
pretty like it like something will be happening, right? Like Kristen Wiig's tearing apart the cookie, and it'll pan back to like Lillian and the people at the party, and Bonnie Kelly has like prime face in a lot of the pans, like the back pans, I guess. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah. And
I don't
she's
think
at the wedding
does
too.
she ever talk? I think
No,
she might
she doesn't
just
say
be
a single thing.
her face. Yeah,
Oh man.
she's a featured extra.
Yeah. I gotta look her up now just because I want to see her in that.
She looks exactly the same. I kept waiting for her to like start
Like,
doing her Bonnie Kelly thing.
yeah.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. I will say there was a lot of like, I don't know, there's a lot of funny stuff like Tim was saying, like gags, I guess, like when they're at the
Yeah.
engagement party and like these guys just keep hovering around her and it's like, oh, is this your husband? Like, is this who you're with? And it's like, it's awkward every time. It's like, no, I don't know this man.
See, I thought that was just funny, and I didn't feel that awkward.
Oh, I thought it was just like,
Mm.
it's funny and awkward. Because like, why are they hovering so close?
Yeah. What did you think
Right.
of the like when she's trying to get the cops' attention scene where she's just driving recklessly?
Yeah, that
Did
was kind of funny. Like, it didn't make sense, but
Yeah.
it didn't have to. It's a movie.
I know, I
Like,
know.
There's no way that she would just be on this road and
Nobody's ever
I mean,
coming.
you assume that, yeah, cars went by because there's a bunch of cuts for it, but I thought
Yeah.
it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah. Well, there's the one where she's
Wasn't
like,
bad, at least.
she like lays down and you can't see either of them, and she's like, "Who's driving that car?" Like that one
Yeah.
got me. It's just
Yeah.
so stupid.
It was good.
I was actually surprised because she's like, "Look, I'm topless," and he's like, and then he finally looks and I was like, "She actually was topless."
Yeah.
I expected her not to be, just to be like messing with him, but
Yeah.
He really wanted her to go into baking again, though.
Yeah.
he did, but probably just so he could eat it all.
Exactly.
It might have been a little
'Cause
aggressive.
That's what I would do.
A little
Yeah,
aggressive
it was a
on
little.
Yeah.
I think he just knew that she was kind of upset, and he was trying to like get that passion back out of her. And she
Oh
was-
yeah,
I mean, it had died off, so she's
you're
you know.
meant to feel bad for him,
yes,
Mhm.
yeah,
not her.
because
Yeah.
he's trying to help her, but like, and inevitably, yeah, he'd probably help her start a bakery again. Would be my assumption.
Oh, definitely. Well, and there was one scene where she's actually like putting the cupcake together, and I was like, God damn, that's a lot of like effort for a
Right.
cupcake.
For one cupcake.
And then she eats it.
Yeah, like you could have picked a like easier, simpler decoration to be like, I'm a baker, but also I didn't waste 5 hours on this cupcake. But
This is why I'm not a great chef. Is because I eat a lot, and I don't have the patience to cook something or make something like that for like 5 fucking hours and
Yeah.
then eat it and to only be hungry still. Like,
yeah.
I just wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, in her case, she makes one. It's like, at least if you were going to make a pan full, like you can admire them a little longer.
I know.
I could see Tim just not caring about what it looks like.
Yeah,
Like you're all about the
Correct.
flavor.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Presentation can be cool, but when it comes to like cakes and stuff, I don't understand it. Just like if it tastes good, it tastes good. I don't want like some giant fondant mess. Like
Okay, so
It's
Tim
just
wants
like-
fondant.
you know.
I'm gonna make
I
you a
like
cake with
icing.
all fondant.
Oh,
The cake is
God.
the cake
That
layers
word is
are also
fondant.
fondant.
Oh God. Cool. It's just like a fondant, like
It's just you know how
imagine like a fruit roll up, just like
Yeah.
smashed together. Like, oh
oops all fondant.
yeah.
yeah. Oh God.
Oh, man.
no.
Go to a
Yeah, that's just
bakery.
too much work. Like
Go to a bakery
I-
and be like, "Can I have all of your fondant?" I didn't say some of it. I
All
want
of it.
all of it.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I always try to make things look pretty, but inevitably I'm rushing through and it never
Yeah.
ends up like if the cupcake is warm, then the icing like melts off and I never want to
Yeah.
wait till it cools down. But I mean,
This is
I
all
admire
false
the
in one
people.
cake.
yeah, I admire the people that can do it.
Yeah. Now
Same-
there's a medium there to me because like I enjoy a cake that like has some design to it,
Mhm.
but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
So
you're not
it's
going
like-
to
Yeah,
have the
I was
patience for
saying
If
it.
it's
that.
just a
I was
regular
saying-
cake, I'll be perfectly happy. But
Yeah.
if somebody designs one and it's like not like crazy over the top, I'll probably enjoy it more than like one of the crazy over the top ones.
So what I was trying to say
I
for
won't
you,
feel bad
Tim,
eating it.
was
Yeah.
I was saying that
That's
you
true.
wouldn't spend the time to make it look
Absolutely
pretty.
not.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you do bring up an interesting point, Tim, that there's kind of like a diminishing return because if it looks too good, then you're like, well, fuck, I don't want to eat
Yeah, I
it. They
don't
put all
wanna
this
eat
effort
it.
into it.
Am I allowed to eat it? I don't. Is it edible? I don't know.
Do you feel that way about your kveid vodka?
No, but that's not
What?
necessarily.
It's
a
Norwegian.
Norwegian cake. It's the best
Oh,
cake in the world.
gotcha.
It's literally called World's Best Cake.
It's
That's
so
the
good.
translation.
That's cool.
But it's not meant to be like a pretty cake.
I think it looks cool.
It does look cool, but it's not like that flour that she did, for example.
That's
It's
different.
mostly meringue, so meringue can look kind of nice.
Meringue is
Peaked.
easy.
Yeah.
See, I think you could make meringue cool. Look cool, Tim.
Yeah. Now you're making me want lemon meringue pie.
There you go.
That
Now,
stuff's delicious.
now they were talking about when they were trying to set up the bachelorette party.
Mhm.
They're like, bachelor parties aren't in like a lake in the woods. I'm like, I can guarantee you that there's a good chunk of men
Yeah.
that would like to just camp,
Do a cabin for
Mhm.
sure.
but they were
For
just setting
sure.
themselves up to do Vegas. And then
Yeah.
the director was like, we can't really do Vegas though. Because like they had a whole Vegas scene set up, written.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
they were like, The Hangover just did it too perfectly.
kind of, yeah.
That's true.
It's too close.
Yeah, it would have only been a few years, so that
Two.
makes sense. Fresh in everybody's mind. The Hangover 2 was probably out by now.
It probably
Mhm.
was. And
Mhm.
yeah, like the Hangover one is too hard to beat, in my opinion,
Yeah.
Mhm.
for bachelorette sort of scenarios.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad that they didn't show it for that same reason. Then it's all like the same stuff over and over again. So I think it was a good choice.
Also,
I
can we
agree with
talk
that.
about how when she's on the plane, Annie is the only one who is
Mhm.
blamed for her shit when she took medicine from fucking Helen.
Yeah.
Helen, yeah.
I'm like, come on. Like, Helen
Helen
is
set it
part
up.
to blame. Like, yes, she got too drunk, but she gave her the alcohol. She gave her the drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. She caused it for sure.
I love when she comes back and she's like, "Help me, I'm poor." Like that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
lines. Or that when she comes back with the sunglasses and he's like, "I literally just saw you. No, that was someone else." Like,
No.
There's someone else.
Okay, Stove.
yeah, exactly.
Your name is Stove.
Yeah. That's the plane scenes are pretty classic, and then of course the
Yeah.
pooping scene is classic too.
Yeah.
I feel like it was
I-
even funnier this time, even though I knew
It
it
was
was
pretty
coming.
good. She walks out and she just doesn't make it across the street.
Yeah.
Nope, it's happening. And she just sits down. You're like, oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty good.
You're just going for it, pooping in the street.
Yep.
I mean, I get it. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
She got stuck.
So they spent 2 weeks in this working with this film, just doing straight improv.
Wow. Okay.
Really?
And a lot of it got incorporated. But looking at the
Okay.
cast, you're kind of like, duh.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess.
Like Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, even, I mean, I think Maya Rudolph, all three
Oh, yeah,
are all improv actors,
Yeah.
actresses.
Mm.
So they went with their strengths, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes it even better, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because written in it, I don't know. Makes it more impressive, I guess.
It does.
I like a good improv.
I like a good
Yeah.
improv, and I like a good written script. I really hate the bullshit in the middle where I'm like, I can tell you guys wrote shittily. Like,
Yeah.
that's the worst, in my opinion.
What are your
I
thoughts?
really,
Oh, go ahead, Tim.
I was just gonna say, I really like when improv meets written,
That's what I
and
was about
so
to
like,
ask.
and then the improv like ends up being the cut they use,
Yeah.
and it becomes like this super famous thing. Like there's a bunch of cases of that.
Yeah.
But those are my favorites. But
One of the most famous ones that I know that pissed off the writers was Parks and Rec.
Okay.
yeah,
Andy's looking at his computer and saying, "Hi, hey," like he like says that it's sick because it can't connect to the internet or something.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
But-
so he blows on it like a cartridge. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. I didn't know that was improv. That's fucking great.
Nice.
Yeah. And then everything. So the janitor in Scrubs didn't have a single written line. They just said, "Oh, the janitor's in this scene." So everything he says and everything they react to is all improv, but the rest of it's written.
That's
yeah,
impressive. Because
That
he's
is
like
impressive.
a big recurring character.
Yeah.
I'm just saying impressive because I've never seen the show.
You've
I've-
you've seen it a
I've
few
watched
times.
a little bit of it, and then I was like, meh.
I
don't know
realized
why.
that me and Tyler watched it a lot,
Yeah.
and then Eric did too.
I keep thinking about watching it, but
It's Bill Lawrence.
yeah.
He did. If you like Ted Lasso, it's like the same humor. And then what's
okay.
the other one he does with Jason Segel
Shrinking.
and Shrinking?
Shrinking's good.
Very good.
So he show ran all three of those.
Look at him.
Okay. Maybe I should watch it then.
Give it a try. I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched it all I watched it all when I was at home, but then I watched it a bunch in college with my roommate.
Nice.
So
Well, what else can I say about this film?
Tuna salad with maple syrup.
Was-
Tuna fish salad.
What?
That is somebody
she
ordered
says
it.
to her mom. Yeah. No, her mom walks in and she's like, "It's 8 a.m." Because she says you want a tuna salad sandwich or something like that. She says it's 8 a.m. She's like, "Put some syrup on it,"
Oh.
Yeah.
which I think was mostly just a dig, not really like a.
An
Yeah.
actual request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that there's it's too dramatic. I can't get away from like the over the top woe is me
Yeah.
vibe with the comedy. Like, I don't know. I know there are probably plenty of other comedies that like do this and it works out, but for some reason it's just very jarring to me in this one. I don't know why. I can't get with it. But then when the funny scenes nail it, they nail it. So just wish there was more balance.
Very
there.
back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think that might be a product of the time.
I don't know. You didn't
could
like it the
be.
first time.
No, I'm saying like the comedies, the
Oh,
way they were written,
yeah.
they probably had to show more. Well, in general, they have to show more range and like oomph than just be like a slapstick,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
That is it.
Just riffing. Who knows?
Comedies are dead anyway.
I know they never get made.
When
What
I
the
say that,
hell?
I actually love comedies. I'm just stating.
No, comedies.
I was like, I'm just
fantastic.
stating that a lot of comedy, like they don't make as many comedies anymore, just because they're less profitable.
That's why you got to take up the second form of comedy, which is just terrible humor or horror.
I thought you were gonna say horror comedy
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
swear, like
essentially.
people blame Avengers and Marvel for the death of comedy because you can have action and comedy.
You can have action.
Yeah,
comedy.
true.
You can have horror comedy.
Sci-fi comedy that's
Yeah.
not as common.
It
Avenue
happens, though.
5, and then the one with Seth MacFarlane.
Spaceballs.
I mean, I
Space.
don't really think comedy's dead necessarily.
It's just like the straight like
It's just-
dodgeball film or like those like 2000s comedies.
yeah.
We won't get that era again.
No, that won't happen again for sure. That was like, yeah, a wild time.
Yeah.
This
That
is
won't
gonna
happen
sound
again.
very I don't know. It's gonna show my age, but the 2000s were the best comedies.
I
in
think
my
there
opinion.
Yeah, I
were-
mean, I can't think outside of that.
The 90s have a
probably
couple
agree.
good ones.
I think it's because there were a
True.
lot of stars that were big at the time that were making them, right? Like you had Adam Sandler,
Right.
you had Will Ferrell, you had Vince Vaughn.
You had like the entire Judd Apatow.
I mean,
group.
that's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Well,
just
and
like so
then-
many people.
What's his name? Adam Sandler. He was 90s, right?
He was
And all
90s,
his
but he
shit
did
was
have some
great.
2000s too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that's where he started to fall off, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the end of the 2000s is his is his
Yep.
fall. But I mean, like Tropic Thunder.
Oh, Tropic Thunder is amazing.
And like, well, you had Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Weren't they big too around that time?
They were huge
Yeah.
in
So, like-
30 Rock.
Yeah.
Yep. 30 Rock.
So I think there was just like a lot of people that were coming together at that time, and we just like don't have that anymore. All those
Right.
people are still around, and I assume they're still making some shit, but it's not like they're all working together.
It's the
Yeah.
production, like nobody wants to produce it anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta.
But
add
I
the
mean, if you get somebody
romance.
like, even Mark Wahlberg, because I'm just thinking like the Will Ferrell stuff, essentially.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell still pulls it off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's just because he still taps into what the childish shit we used to watch. You know?
Yeah,
like, so he
exactly.
taps
It's
into-
like nostalgia.
But yeah, he brings all of that to the table, and it doesn't matter who's with him. It's always funny. But
Dodgeball 2 is supposed to be in production.
oh man, yeah.
But I have
That'll be
feelings. I don't know
interesting.
what they are yet. But they talked about doing Bridesmaids too.
Mm.
They're like,
Why?
nah.
Yeah.
I
They're
don't
like, it
understand. He
ended.
did
It ended where
Yeah.
it should.
Hangover 2 is just an indication that you do not need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they did Hangover 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Redo again. Well, and I also wonder if like, are there just more comedy shows now? Like, did comedy just get pushed into TV?
Possibly.
I think
so.
But we've always had the sitcom. We've always had Friends. We've always had Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah,
Sonny's
but
been on
there's
forever.
a lot more stuff out now that I feel like as shows that are straight comedies that are kind of more on the level of the 2000s than what some of the other stuff is. Like,
I would, like the newest, one of the newer like straight comedy shows that I've not watched is Schitt's Creek.
Oh, people love that one.
People
though.
love
watch
it,
that.
but people love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll recommend it's on Peacock.
Nice.
We started watching it. We just because of our schedule, we are struggling to get through it. But I'm dying to continue watching it, and the new season should be coming out this soon after the writers, whatever.
No,
But
the
it's called
writers are
Resident
done.
Alien. Are they
Okay.
on Peacock? And
I've
it is
seen it. I've not watched it.
fantastic.
All right.
It's hilarious. It's especially if you're a little tipsy. It's hilarious.
Nice.
Oh, we haven't even said what we do in the shadows. I'm just.
Well,
gonna
that's
say.
what I was
Well, yeah,
thinking
that's
of.
just. I
while
mean, I feel like
was-
we talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
I literally pictured that when I was like, oh no, shows are definitely coming out that are like that. So,
Right. Same.
But
Yeah.
what we do in the shadows is a weird humor.
Exactly.
While the three of us all love it,
I'm sure
Not
there's-
everybody
it
does.
doesn't fit. It's not the norm for sure. It doesn't fit.
it's Kiwi humor,
Yes,
which I
exactly.
apparently enjoy in SDU too.
Well, I feel like we got to put a question out there to the 7 people that listen about if they watch
70,000.
comedies and if they're leaning on the 2000s for their comedies or if they watch newer comedies. Is comedy dead? Flibberflix listeners, who's to say?
Matt Damon told me it was.
Yeah,
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
we just listen to him around here.
I think it was on Hot Ones
Mm.
where he said that. Now, Samantha,
Mm-hmm.
you picked this, but you don't get to do it yet because I had to say the ratings.
Okay.
The critics gave it an 89%.
Wow.
Audience is 76%. IMDb is 6.8 out of 10. Google is 73%. And the film was nominated for 2 Oscars. One to Melissa McCarthy
Yeah.
for Megan,
That's fair.
classic. And the other for the screenplay.
Okay. Okay.
Now you can say where if you're gonna flip it on and where.
So I am still gonna flip it off. It's
Dun dun dun.
better than I
Dun, dun.
remember, and I think it's because when I first saw it, everybody was like, "That's the funniest movie in the world," and I was just like, it was overhyped. So this
That
time
one
I
made you
kind
hate
of
it,
went in
yeah.
with more like regular expectations because I knew I didn't like it, and I was like, well, maybe it's better. And I do think it was better, but it's still not something I would flip on. So it's in my first flip off spot. Like I think there's gonna be worse than it, but I still don't think it's good enough to be a flip on. Look, I'm gonna end up being like a super critic. Like I'm not even gonna have any flip ons by the end of this.
Sam's gonna be like, Adam, can I have a few more flip offs?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be like,
Can I trade
"No."
flip-ons for flip-offs?
Right?
Can we trade each other?
Ooh, interesting.
There
Let's
we go.
hold that
So
thought.
like that's the next season where we have
Yeah.
a total amount of flip offs between the 3 of us.
You guys
Yeah.
are gonna hate me. You'll be like, I need one of those. I'll be like, absolutely not.
Yeah, flip-off
I'm
goes on
not
gold.
putting on Shadow in the Cloud. God damn it.
Oh man.
Oh god, that film.
All right,
right.
Tim.
Tim, yeah, thoughts.
I thought it was funny. I mean, there was a lot of just stuff in it that made me chuckle. I like seeing those actresses. I mean, I think they're all hilarious in their own one way. Especially Megan.
Yeah.
Like she steals the show, right? So that being said, I was back and forth. I think for now I want to flip it on.
Nice.
But it's the very last spot.
You're like, it's
and
on
I have
the
a
fence.
feeling, yeah, I have a feeling it will end up flipped off.
Gotcha.
But if I'm saying if I'm considering it as just like standalone, should people watch it? Yeah, why not? So if I feel that way, I don't have a reason to flip off.
That's fair.
I don't think it's the funniest thing in the world. I don't know where the hype came from. I didn't know there
Right?
was hype for it, but
Oh, there's so much hype.
yeah.
There's still hype for it. I was talking to somebody who hadn't seen it since it came out, and they were like, "Yeah, I saw it like 3 times in theaters because I had to be like,
What?
it's the funniest thing ever." And then
Okay,
I showed
that's
my
too much.
friend.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's crazy,
It's not that funny. No.
right?
Now the diarrhea
very few
scene. I
things.
will give them the poop
That
scene.
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is good. There are very few things I'd see multiple times in the theaters.
Like
and one of them
300.
was 300. Yeah.
I don't
I
know
went to
that
that so many times I fell asleep at one of them.
Oh, nice. I don't know that I would see a comedy multiple times in the theater.
I would not.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. It just doesn't make sense. But
Action movies, yes.
an action film where
Like
you get
action
surrounded,
sci-fi, like something that needs
Yeah.
the good sound system, 100%.
Musical.
Yeah.
I just said that because of the sound
mean-
system. It just means shitty.
Like, I mean, you got to see Cats in theaters.
Yeah.
Oh God, or not at all.
I was sober during that.
I was not.
And that's our relationship.
Yes.
So
Anyway.
for me, okay, so I
Are you
actually
flipping it on sober, tipsy? Where's the scale?
No,
That's
I'm
another
not-
thing we
yeah,
can
there's
do.
another
Yeah, it's true.
scale. There we go. I'm not gonna flip this on. It's gonna be in my number one flip off spot.
You stole
Nice.
my.
Yeah, you
my
said
tactic.
exactly what I wanted to. I will say I
Mind
actually really
meld.
enjoy these actresses separately.
Yeah. that's
Which,
fair.
which, by the way, this is the film that made me dislike Kristen Wiig.
Dun, dun, dun. And it's not even
Dun,
her,
dun.
like Tim was saying. Like, it's just
Yeah.
this shit that's around her.
What's
Yeah.
funny is Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar, which she plays two characters in, and she's like the lead.
Mhm.
I find absolutely hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my go-to to just be like, I think you should see this because I want to watch you watch this because it's just so ridiculous.
Interesting.
And then like Rose
Maybe
Byrne,
I'll have to watch that sometime.
Do it.
yeah, there's a whole scene where something Dorian,
Mm-hmm.
the guy from 50 Shades, is singing on the beach. And then it also has Richard Cheese in it, Tim, who does the what's the mall zombie film?
Oh, Zombieland?
No, the mall. Like they're in the mall.
Dawn of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead, where he does like the cover of Disturbed's Down with the Sickness. Come on. Down with
Yeah.
the sick. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He is a recurring character in this film. Barb and
That's
Star.
funny.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
But then Rose Byrne is great in Platonic.
Mm-hmm.
Another Apple TV. We're just going to be like an ad for Apple TV.
Right? Apple TV sponsor us. We love all your shit.
That's actually pretty factual.
You don't even have to pay us, apparently, because we'll just talk about it anyway.
We'll still parrot it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Maya Rudolph, she's great.
Yep.
Melissa McCarthy's hilarious. The lady from Reno 911,
Mm-hmm.
very funny.
Mm-hmm.
She's the blonde. And then Aaron
Yep.
from The Office, Kimmy Schmidt.
Yep.
But going on in
Technically, the other girl is in the office too.
Oh.
which
From
one?
Reno 911. She's a concierge in one
Oh.
episode when Michael goes to Canada.
Nice.
No, oh, she is.
Yeah.
So next week, Tim is up to bat.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't like the spotlight. I don't want to know.
Like how it stuttered there.
I know. I was like, the last one took forever. But since Tim really hates the spotlight, he's going to get to pick whatever film he wants with dealer's choice.
Gross.
Too much
That's
pressure.
too much pressure. It's like it's a lot harder than you think. Give
It
me
really
my like stipulations.
Yeah.
Any
Really,
day,
it's really hard not to just pick something that you're in the mood to watch right now.
Exactly.
right?
Because a lot of times it's something that we've either seen or I have on repeat or whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe I should pick The Flash.
Do it.
bet he won't.
Bring Nick Cage back. Cripes almighty, where my best ferret's at? If you don't get that reference, make sure to go watch Coraline and then come back to me. I'll wait. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. I'm actually here to not talk about Coraline. I'm here to talk about our social media. So, what do we have on social media? We've got Instagram. We've got that new thing called Threads, and the user handle on both of those is @FlipperFlix. Feel free to follow us there, like our pictures, laugh at our memes, make fun of our blurry memes, whatever you would like to do to stay up to date with us. We also have a website called flipperflix.com. Very easy. We try to make it as easy and seamless for you guys as possible. On there, you'll see some of our bios. You can also access the RSS feed to listen to any episode you would like, get a little bit more in-depth on the categories, as well as the best part ever, you can recommend movies for us. So feel free to fill out a little contact us form. recommend a movie for us, and we promise we'll attempt to watch it in the next however many years. You can also recommend movies for us straight to our Gmail. Yes, we are old school. We have email at flipperflix@gmail.com. Write us a note. Be like, hey, I dig your show, but I would dig it even more if you watch this movie. Anyway, what else do we have? Well, it wouldn't be a social media segment if I didn't ask you to like and subscribe to our show on whatever podcasting platform you are using. Also, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to us ramble as I am doing right now. You can subscribe, you can rate us. We're a 5-star podcast, at least we think we are. So make sure you go ahead and rate us on Amazon, Google, Apple, Spotify, Good Pods, Podchaser. Am I just listing podcasting platforms for the fun of it? Yes, I am. But it remains the mission of you to still rate us. Also, if you subscribe, a little fun bony bonus is that you'll get notified anytime we drop an episode, and we drop an episode on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Although Adam likes to make fun of me because it's not always Eastern Standard Time. There's also Eastern Daylight Time or Eastern Time. Whichever way it is at this part of the year, it's at 1 p.m., all right? On Thursday on the East Coast. So feel free to hang out, check out with us. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'd be happy to have you join our little podcast community. We're very grateful. That's all I got. And if you didn't watch Coraline by the time I spewed through all of this, you better go watch Coraline now. Deuces.